Hey everyone, my name is Kabi, this is Kabi World Legends, and today I'm going to show you another portion of the stream that I held recently for the Russian community and also recorded it locally to be able to disable my Russian voice and make a voiceover with English commentaries. And in this video I'm going to touch the trending topic recently and discuss the trend and strategy and how to play against it. So that is mass bikers, and a lot of bikers perform really good right now. There are different reasons for that. They approached ever since we added a wider angle at which bikers can shoot, and we also increased the shooting range along with slightly reducing the attack damage, I believe, and also increasing the cost in food, but still a lot of bikers really perform good in both 1 versus 1 and in the team play games as well, and I believe that many players may struggle against them. And so I don't mean that bikers are bad, but I'm gonna show you how to probably counter the strategies that are not designed all too good, and to show you the weaknesses of that strategy which you can exploit. But anyways, I'm just playing against a random guy whom I never faced before, or at least I didn't remember. He's significantly lower in rating, I must admit, so probably we couldn't have met each other, but he had a decent win rate. Anyways, I'm just doing my standard build in the beginning and sending over to his base the first swordsman I've got to scout and then decide what I'm gonna do. But initially in this game I was going to play elves, because just in the previous games on the stream I played different things, so now I decided I'd be playing the elves with 2 barracks. So I wanted to apply a little pressure in the beginning and then to see what was going to happen. So far I just keep producing the swordsman, and now I come to the enemy's base and what I see is the dwarven forge. So that means that my opponent is pretty much going to play the bikers, because you hardly gonna dwarven forge for the bombardier baron along, and that means that apparently you're gonna get a couple of wordsmith and then take up to the 3rd tier and to the bikers. So right now I perceived this game as I was playing against bikers. So what I thought is I can probably apply a bit of pressure with the starting units and then see if I can go any further when my archers are gonna be out on the map. So I keep producing archers. I'm really focusing on not skipping the production right now. I also add one more gold rush, and here we see the 4 swordsmen. I obviously have a lot more, so I can engage. I also try to save my swordsman. My opponent was trying to finish it off, not successfully, and it seems that I really have a lot right now. And I'm gonna pull the worker and apply a pressure with the Tower of Light Magic. Because if my enemy is gonna play bikers, what is he doing now? Right now he must be taken up to the 3rd tier and then upgrade his factory to the 2nd tier, so that takes a lot of time, and that creates a window, a timing window, an opportunity for me to try to push and make a good trade. So I'm even taking the worker along with me, because I'm not making the princess, so I invest that resources into the tower. So we see wordsmith So apparently my enemy is taken up. Yeah, I believe his factory is being upgrading right now. Alright, he's just making the artillery tower and his factory is upgrading, we can see it in the bottom part, so it's just now finished, so his biker can be now just started, but I'm already here in his face, and I'm not sure if he can ever defend this, because artillery tower was too late and that's just a quick victory. So as fast like this, if you scout that the opponents probably play bikers, you can just apply the pressure straight, and that can lead you to the victory straight. Alright, but what if you don't play light? Because you might think that, well, elves are good and archers are good, but if I'm dark, what am I doing? Because my venom spitters are doing magic damage now, and my skeleton archers just casually die to the magic damage, and my X-Masters were nerfed a lot in the recent patch, so what am I doing if I'm dark? So let me see you. I can say that the concept will be about the same, and once again I got an enemy that I never faced before, or at least I have no idea what did this guy play. And I'm just gonna scout, but I had the initial idea to play undead, I believe. But anyways, whatever I was gonna do in the beginning of the game, I just have to focus on my build order. So I'm doing the 16 racks, up to the PXT, up to the 9th worker, and then get my goon in the 2nd tier. So it's just what I play in every single game now and then. And this build order is not exactly the safest, because it can be really vulnerable against the proxy barracks, but I don't really face many proxy barracks. To make an exact number, I think I never faced the proxy barracks in the matchmaking for some weird reason, so nobody's rushing me. So I just keep playing this build, which is economically is very strong, and I'm taken up to the 2nd tier, so right now I don't make any kind of a decision, and I'm taking the Guna, just setting it over to my enemy's base. But now I thought that, well, probably I'm gonna see first what he's doing, so I just keep adding goons, not making the undead obelisk anyway, even though it's available. But you don't really need to get it all too often, but, well, I'm getting the orc totem right now. So this will be the orc chief strategy in the beginning. So yeah, probably I just forgot my initial ideas, but anyways, I am adding the orc totem. I'm also keep producing the goons, and now my goon come to the enemy's base, and I'll see that his 2nd tier is very late for some reason. So I thought that probably he hides something, so I made it to the high ground. Probably there was the 2nd racks, but I didn't found them. So I keep searching, because I need to know what's happening. Alright, and this is the factory, so... Oh, this is the 3rd tier! This is the extremely fast 3rd tier. Alright, so the factory makes sense, and now we see that my enemy is playing extremely quick bikers. So this is the 3rd tier straight without any units ready, but I don't play undead. So I mentioned I could be playing undead, and if I did, I could be already pushing my enemy. I could be already starting the undead tower next to his base, but it just didn't what I pick. I picked the orc totem, So all I have now is just a couple of goons, and my orc chief is coming soon. So my first approach was to try to play the X-Masters, but then I thought, wait a minute, what if I just add the Under Obelisk first? And probably pull out the Chieftain. I mean, I already have the Chieftain. Pull out the Eater as a second hero, and then just keep spamming skeleton archers to deal the damage to the bikers. So what if I do all that? Can I catch them off guard? But the bikers are really quick, unlike the previous game, where my opponent first got like 5 swordsmen at least. Now the enemies go straight into those. So anyway, I have things to apply a pressure. I'm not building a tower this time around because I don't really need an orc tower, it only attacks air, and by the time I come, the first biker is already out on the map, so I can never beat him, because I can never catch him, but I do a very simple thing, I just focus fire down the factory. Factory is not too expensive, but it takes forever to be built and upgraded, so I just thought, well, wait a minute, if I take down the factory, you're not getting any more bikers, right? So, okay, enjoy having your one biker. And in the meantime, I'm upgrading my Altar of Heroes, and I'm already starting to get the skeleton archers to prevent those guys from roaming around and hitting me. And I also want to get in his mining line to probably take down a few workers. I'll let my goon to follow the biker, to make my enemy to run around, to run away, so that he can just stand and fire. I'm trying to activate the circle strike, and then I use an active ability and 3 workers immediately go down. Now I see if I can probably take down an artillery tower, but I'm not really willing to take down an artillery tower, it's just too long. So rather than that, I just try to take down more workers, but Chief is not too fast, as you can see, but he still succeeds and takes down a couple of guys. And in the meantime, my second hero altar is ready, and I was producing the skeleton archers all the time, with a little gap where I was collecting resources to get a nitro, so I'm not really floating high in the resources, which is extremely important if you apply early pressure. So in the beginning I mentioned like there is an easy way to counter. Well, this is RTS, right? So even the easy way can sometimes be a little demanding, because your opponent is doing things and you must be doing things too. But anyways, since you can produce armor pretty much from the production tab, it is not really a hard thing to mention, so you just need to get used to it, to get this kind of playing ethic, you know. So you micro, but at the same time you order units. And if you can't, then consider not microing and use strategies like I showed in the previous video to get faster, to get used to your build orders, to make them take less time. Because the better you know your strategy, the better you know in advance what you're gonna play, the less time it will take from you to get your camera back to the base and do stuff, because you don't really need to decide what you're gonna do, you already know. So you just do your things quickly and get back to micro. And honestly, War Legends isn't exactly the game when you can just not micro too often. Sometimes you can, if you go like Mass Guardsman or wherever, but mostly you have to micro, because there are magic scrolls, there are area effects, there are hero actives abilities, and it really makes change. So right now I float rather high, so I don't perform too good right now, honestly, but now I remember about that. And I see that I also have the reinforcements back in the base, so I send them over to this place. But generally my idea is not working too bad, because skeleton archers are doing relatively fine against bikers. They are not like destroying bikers, they are not ex-masters, but they are cheap and they are quick to build. Not as quick as previously though, because they were nerfed slowly. So right now you probably don't really wanna go mass skeleton archers anymore. You rather wanna add them. But right now I mostly do them, just the skeleton archers, because I wanna see if it can be enough to take down the biker strategy. So this is sort of an experiment, so I'm just seeing if it works, and I just wanna show the guys on stream if it works. And in the meantime I'm taking up to the 4th tier. I didn't even get the 3rd farm actually, the 3rd pixie, because skeleton archers only take 2 food to be built and they die quickly too, so I don't really need a lot of food. But if you have spare resources, you always wanna take up to the 4th tier of your citadel or the castle, because you may be requiring that food later on. You also wanna add more mana towers and things like this. So I decided I'd add the workshop, because probably I can add the aeronauts, or maybe the drills later on, or maybe the catapults. I also thought about the catapults, because my enemy keep defending with static. Well, it seems that I'm just finishing him off, because I didn't let him go into bikers. And again, how did I do that? I just focused down the factory. So I just get the very simple units, the chieftain and the goons, and I just focused down the factory. And he didn't have the factory, he couldn't produce the bikers. And as easy as this. So just again, if you scout the Dwarven Forge, most likely that will be the bikers. So just consider doing an early attack and applying the pressure, and that will make your life a lot easier. So try that in your games and let me know if it works. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.